Rocking with pettyblog.com.
I can't be on the petty blog.
So let's get right into it. What was supposed to be a music fest unfortunately turned into a whole different kind of festival. November 5 at 8:45 p.m., Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival 2021 Live at the Mountain was in the works and going down. As you can see, Travis was promoting it live streamed from Utopia Mountain tonight. He was the cover of Houston's local paper. Will you be at the mountain? He said, can't wait to see you at the fest. And outside of the fest, tens of thousands of Astro fans lined up, eager to get in. And can you blame them? Travis has a track record of giving amazing shows after amazing shows that are out of this world. So based on that, they came for an experience. And he has diehard crazed fans of all ages who won't pass up the opportunity to see him live when he's in their town or close to their city. Now, outside of the show, hundreds, thousands even of teenagers were storming the gates past security guards to get in the show, which should have been the first red flag of what was to come, and in my opinion should have alone stopped the whole show, because that is dangerous. All those people not being properly checked in and detected for safety? No. These kids overwhelmed security. But keep in mind that capacity is 50,000 people, and there were probably like a couple of dozen security guards, so at that point it was probably beyond their human control. Now let's take a look at what happened on the inside just after 9 p.m. and verbatim. Members of a densely packed crowd surged toward the stage and were crushed against each other at a Houston music festival Friday night. At least 8 people were killed and scores of others were injured in the chaos, witnesses and officials said. The victims were 14, 16, 2 were 21, 2 were 23, and 1 was 27 years old. While one of the victims' ages remains unknown, Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner announced in a news conference Saturday evening. There are no people reported missing, the mayor added. At least 25 people were transported to the hospital, and of those, 13 remained hospitalized Saturday afternoon. 5 of them are under 18 years old, he added. Video from the event showed a performer on an outdoor stage, rapper and event organizer Travis Scott, pause and look on in confusion as an ambulance with flashing lights moved into the densely packed crowd. Once Scott started, all hell broke loose, concert goer Alexis Guavin, 23, told CNN. All of what is to be 50,000 people ran to the front, compressing everyone together with the little air available. Guavin added that there were mosh pits in every single direction. The company responsible for organizing the event, Live Nation, issued a statement saying they were heartbroken for those lost and impacted. We will continue working to provide as much information and assistance as possible to the local authorities as they investigate the situation, the statement said. I realized that people were dying. People there described being increasingly squeezed in the minutes before Scott's performance began, and then feeling crushed and seeing others pass out and scream in terror once his show started. The crowd was squishing me so much that I felt I couldn't breathe. Emily Mangua, 22, told CNN. I started screaming for help. I felt so scared, like I was going to die. The amount of people I saw get hurt, passed out, bleeding, crying is crazy. When Scott came on stage, everything started to happen. People just went berserk. I realized that people were dying. The crowd, for whatever reason, began to push and surge toward the front of the stage, which caused the people in the front to be compressed. People began to fall out, become unconscious, Pena said at a news conference.
I was being squeezed. Constant pressure on my chest, constant pressure on my back and side. I tried to lift up my arms to make more room for myself. It wasn't working.
Crowd members attempt CPR on the injured. People who attended Friday's concert shared on social media the chaos that ensued after the deadly nighttime surge. Medical personnel were so overwhelmed with the injuries, some audience members attempted to administer CPR. Amber, one of the crowd members, said she saw a girl lying on the floor near me, and we had random people doing CPR on this girl. More than 20 minutes passed, she said, before actual medical assistance came. Houston police and event security staff stopped the concert as soon as the situation got to the point where it was overwhelming, but by then, the damage had been done, Pena, the fire chief, said. Another woman in the crowd ultimately passed out and was apparently crowd surfed to safety. Wow. As the timer on the screen counted down 30 minutes to Scott's performance, people compressed up against each other and were pushing forward and backward, and it got progressively worse. I was having constant pressure on my chest, constant pressure on my back. From the side, I was being squeezed, she said. Right when he started performing his first song, I looked at my boyfriend and said, "We have to get out of here." He said, "I can't, we can't." And I just remember looking up and passing out, and then going in and out of consciousness, she said. She remembers being pulled over a fence and ultimately waking up for good in a chair, she said. The deadly surge came hours after at least one person was injured when people rushed through a VIP entrance to the event in the afternoon. And it came 2 years after 3 people were trampled and injured at the same festival as many rushed to enter in 2019. Friday's horror brought an early end to what was supposed to be a 2-day event, as Saturday's portion was canceled. Astroworld was in its 3rd iteration, having been launched by native Houstonian Scott in 2018 at the park, which used to be the site of the Six Flags Astroworld. More than 300 people were treated at a field hospital set up near the festival Friday, Pina said. One of the patients hospitalized is 10 years old, and at last check was in critical condition. Wow. Some of the patients were in cardiac arrest as they were taken to hospitals. Further details about the injuries weren't immediately available. The causes of death will be determined by a medical examiner, he said. The cause of the surge was not immediately clear and will be part of an investigation. There were several incidents Friday where Narcan, a drug used to treat narcotic overdoses, was administered.
Some individual was injecting people with drugs. We do have a report of a security officer. He was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen, and he felt a prick in his neck. He went unconscious. They administered Narcan. He was revived, and the medical staff did notice a prick.
Wow. In a statement on Twitter, Saturday morning, festival organizers said, "Our hearts are with the Astroworld family tonight, especially those we lost and their loved ones, and they are focused on supporting local officials however we can." Scott separately said he is absolutely devastated by what took place. "My prayers go out to the families and all those impacted by what happened." Investigators will review video of the scene and look at how the venue was laid out and whether it had enough exit points. The investigation will explore what caused 1. The issue of the crowd surge, and 2. What prevented people from being able to escape that situation. Houston's Emergency Management Office established a hotline for people who haven't been able to contact those known to have attended the concert. People rushed through gate hours earlier, and 3 were trampled at event 2 years ago. Wow, that is just sad. And a lot of fans are blaming Travis because, as you can see, he seemingly suspected something went wrong, and yet the show continued for a while longer before it actually ended.
Let's play it slowly. We need somebody to help him. Somebody passed out right here. Somebody passed out right here. Hold on, don't touch him, don't touch him. Everybody just back up. Security, somebody help.
Even after fans begged them to stop the show because people had died. Okay?
That's okay with you real quick. Take me this door.
As we all saw, she was warning the cameraman that somebody was dead in the audience. Now, the cameraman could do but so much. He probably couldn't hear her. Well, he clearly heard her, but let's just say probably couldn't hear her, so he had no idea of what to do. Had I been her, I probably would have pulled a little mama and went straight up to Travis, ruined the show to let him know. Period, point blank. But you know what? You never know what you would do until you're in a situation. With that being said, she clearly did the best that she could do, and he did also. This fan right here.
We're in there, bro. Shut the fuck up. Exactly right. We're in there. People are fucking dying. I want to save somebody's life. That's somebody's kid.
2 hands to the sky.
I want to save them.
2 hands to the sky. 2 hands up, y'all. 2 hands up.
Only 8 are confirmed dead, but fans who were there believe that there were much more. They think that there were actually hundreds dead. And that's probably because a lot of people did in fact pass out and were revived, and a whole lot were injured. So that's probably where that came from, since they were there.
I kid you not, like, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like at least 100 people who dead tonight. Like, in the VIP section, it was so many bodies laid out. People were the medics were trying to give them CPR, and they was flipping them over, and like they was literally turning black and blue. Like, I never seen death in my life, bro. just by me alone, it was probably like 10 people laid out dead. And like once the medics tried to help them, they wasn't responding. They moved to the next person. It was nothing they couldn't do.
And some are even believing that this is some kind of ritual and that Travis sacrificed these people. Wow. Personally, I fail to believe in those kind of things, but to each his own. People are saying that he encouraged this type of raving and raging behavior from his crowd and from his fans. So the who knows what lies beneath the surface, the true dystopia is here, though when the end arrives, it's really the beginning, hits different.
Come here, bitch. Get that motherfucker, get him. You tried to take my shoe? You wanna be a thief? Fuck him up, fuck him up. Boom. Fuck his ass up.
Wowzers. All in all, our hearts do go out to all these young people who lost their lives at a Travis Scott festival. This will definitely have a lot of people canceling their upcoming tickets for future events of any artist. I'm not gonna lie, I have an upcoming event on Friday that I'm finna cancel myself because I was waiting for a sign to cancel it, but that's neither here nor there. And let me say this because I feel compelled to, and I have to speak facts real quick. Look, I know a lot of stadiums and concert venues are requiring their staff to get vaccinated, and that has caused a lot of places to be short-staffed on people because quite frankly, a lot of employees are afraid to take the jab. So that was probably a reason why that there weren't enough security guards to control this crowd. And also, as someone who's been a concert goer before, people need to really learn how to stay in their spots in their lanes. If the seat on your ticket says row 26, section A, then there's no reason why you and your crew is trying to sneak up in section 1, row A, or whatever. Like, that makes no sense. Everybody can't be in the front, and it's dangerous to try to. Plus, it's so unfair to those who paid top dollar to be in the front row. Like, what are y'all doing? Please stop that. I went to a concert exactly a month ago. People kept doing that exact thing, and it bothered the crap out of me. And yeah, I'm talking to you and all 12 of your friends. Stop doing that. Also, I've worked at stadiums, and low-key, I've actually worked for Live Nation before, and security always try their best, you know, to get people in an organized and safe fashion. So y'all gotta stop picking at security as staff for checking people thoroughly. They are literally just doing their jobs. Even if you feel like, oh, they're taking too long and you're gonna miss some of the show, you know, waiting in line or whatever, ganging up on them and stampeding past them is not the answer, and it can get others hurt, as you see in this Travis Scott case. Okay? And there's people saying that they can't believe that at least 8 people lost their lives over Travis Scott, and that people gotta stop praising other people, other humans, which I do agree to. Everybody, whether rich or famous, is just as human as the next man who is poor and unknown. A lot of people praise Travis Scott because he's Travis Scott, you know? He makes great music. They're his fans. A lot of people praise celebs, period, and hold them to a higher regard just because they're popular. And this is not to take away from their talent and the fact that people actually came for a good time and a good show, but going crazy to the point where you're surging the crowd and pushing and running over other humans like they don't matter just to get closer to your favorite star who's on stage or whatever is uncalled for. He's just a human being doing a job. He is not a god. These celebrities are not gods, okay? I don't care if it was Kylie Jenner. She's just another human being like all of us. Even if you're a fan, no need to treat someone else like less of a human to get closer to her. And that's just an example that we need to teach our youth to never stand someone to this point of disaster. Someone has to say it. But again, condolences to the families of the people who lost their lives. R.I.P.